Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I'm Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's start with the headlines. President Yoweri Museveni returns from Nairobi's ICPD conference. Heavy rains damage Kazinga Channel Bridge. In Kisoro, residents demand for war compensation. And in the Africa qualifier, Cranes face Burkina Faso. Hello once again. Mugalu Mohammed joins us in a bit on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. President Yoweri Museveni is back home from Nairobi, the Kenyan capital, where he joined other African heads of state and government yesterday for an international conference on population and development, ICPD 25. President Museveni told the three-day conference that gender equality can only be achieved if societies transform and develop. Mr. Museveni was received on arrival earlier today at Entebbe International Airport by Presidency Minister Honorable Esther Mbayo. Others at the airport to receive him included the head of public service, John Mitala, Commander of Uganda People's Defense Air Forces, Lieutenant General Charles Lwangalutaya, and Assistant Inspector General of Police, Andrew Sorwen, among others. Trucks have been blocked crossing Kazinga Channel Bridge that connects Kasese to Rubirizi district, formerly of Greater Bushenyi. Mountain Brigade Commander Brigadier Kwikirize John visited the bridge and advised UNRWA to fast-track the reconstruction there.
Uganda National Roads Authority has barred heavy trucks from crossing Kazinga Channel Bridge to avoid possible traffic accidents. Heavy trucks will now use Kasese Fort Poto.
Vehicles can cross, but heavy trucks like that, it causes further damage. For us, we are maintenance team from Kasese. Then there is a directorate in charge of bridges. Who are based in Kampala. They are on the way and they will be.
Drivers, however, say the route is long and cause unnecessary delays. The bridge users want a new one constructed since the existing one is 60 years old. UPDF Commander Mountain Brigade, Brigadier General Kwekiriza John, urged UNRWA to offer immediate solution to the problem and reduce road user inconvenience.
If it can be done, worked on as quickly as possible, so that our people begin free movement.
The bridge was constructed in 1954.
Government to come and build this bridge, because when they don't build it, it will get a problem here. Either to send a team from Kampala, either here at Kasese.
I'm Navka Farida and Mutabari Moses reporting.
Meanwhile, Kisoro residents plying Kabale Road have protested the change of route of the Nyakabande-Kabale Road around Nyakabande Aerodrome. They say diversion through Busamba to Kisoro from Kabale is impassable and accident-prone. Accidents along this road have already claimed 10 people, with several others surviving injuries.
Transport Engineer Zuban Tege recently directed that the road passing through Nyakabande Aerodrome in Kisoro be diverted through Busamba village.
This is for pedestrians, people who are moving around. I think motorcycles can use it. if they want, but ideally all traffic should go there except pedestrians.
The manager, Civil Aviation Authority, Samuel Woneka, while implementing the directive, then said it is risky road to pass through the airdrome.
Is once they see that you have a procedure. If we didn't have a procedure, the question now, the procedure exists that you will notify when you are landing here, close, and then you operate. When he sees that the place is not closed and vehicles are flying, he cycles.
The chairperson of Bosamba village says he has so far lost 3 people in his village over accidents and urged government to work on the road or let Civil Aviation Authority open the road through airdrome. Bosamba Road has been turned into a highway, which was not the initial plan. Now residents have expressed concern over increasing accidents following one of the motorcycle which involved 3 people. Abel Bizizimana, LC5 chairman, Kisoro district, has blamed UNRA for failing to put a sign along the road diversions.
There are things which are outside that, things of routine. Some of the road signs on these roads were destroyed, but none of them has been replaced, as if UNRA, when it finishes the road, then everything should wait until Jesus comes back.
I'm Nafka Farida, reporting.
And still on issues to do with roads, residents who use Kabale Windy Road in Kisoro district have urged Uganda National Roads Authority UNRA to work on Rushaga Bridge to save them costs of using Kanaba Kisoro Road. This bridge was destroyed by heavy rains that started in September and has affected transport.
The ongoing torrential rains that started September this year destroyed Rushaga Bridge, leaving people in fear of traveling using Kabale Bwindi Road. Rose Kabageni, the woman member of parliament for Kisoro district, confirmed the destruction and asks UNRA officials to work on the bridge. She also asked the government servants at the sub-counties to always sensitize the community on how to deal with hills when planting some crops to stop landslides and soil erosion. However, to some people this is an advantage because they have an opportunity to make some money through carrying people. The situation has also affected movements of children to school. Residents attribute this to shoddy work. Peter Nue said that the bridge has been there for many years, but due to increase in population and poor farming practices, land started to slide off the bridge that led to destruction.
Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources has ordered the immediate resumption of artisanal mining activities in Mweju district. The directive follows uncoordinated information presented by Commandant Police Mineral Protection Unit Jessica Kaigomba on recent eviction of artisan miners in the area. The committee chairperson Kifa Chiwanuka says Kaigomba gave false information on oath, prompting her arrest and detention.
It was all anxiety, filled with hope, among these artisanal miners from Mweju district as they attended the proceedings of the Natural Resources Committee of Parliament.
And the first question which we are going to address the police on still will relate to operations of sea See Asia. When we went there, we found a very large contingent.
One Methodius Gamureva from Kabare, one now Bentumevaze from Bushenyi, and allocated them a mine, and they are now busy mining, where she has chased away the locals in Katenga. For us, really, that is, it is not only a sign that they have disrespected the people of Weshu, but it is inhuman.
Was there any impact, environmental impact assessment report tendered to you as the line ministry responsible for minerals?
Members of Parliament were here to seek answers on how, what and why artisanal miners were evicted from their areas of operation. To provide some of the answers was State Minister for Energy, Simon Dojang.
The ministry has continued to sensitize the URA officials on mineral smuggling across the borders and has put up banners on procedures of mineral imports and export at all custom border posts.
Assistant Inspector General of Police, Asmani Mujenyi, who represented the IGP, was tasked to explain the role of the Police Mineral Protection Unit.
Develop and manage systems on maintenance, regulation, technical equipment, and other resources for the unit. 4. Develop the human and non-human capacity of the unit to handle mineral protection in the country. Prepare periodical reports on policy, minerals, collaborate with the stakeholders responsible for managing minerals in the country.
The committee proceedings were going well until the unit commandant was asked to explain police's role in the eviction.
Now you're saying here that you have not got any communication, and then you decided to go ahead deploying, protecting. Where do you derive your power of protecting legal miners?
You raised the question that why are we protecting Sea Asian? Sea Asian, you may repeat the question.
Natural Resources Committee members of Parliament accused her of telling lies on oath, prompting a decision by the chairperson to have her arrested.
Handed over to Superintendent of Parliament in order to take a statement about what exactly happened on that day, at the time around when the people of Buhweji were evicted, but also to provide a statement for police to consider how best to proceed with her, whether to open up case against her along the lines of Pajale, because she lied under oath.
Kefa Kiwanuka would then direct that artisanal miners resume their mining activities, a decision welcomed by the miners.
We are not condoning where somebody is supposed to do artisanal mining, probably using a location license, where they go into actual mining with excavators and things like that. That is wrong. But at least the artisanal mining per se, I think that one has to be regularized, and what we need is a speeding up with the process of normalizing that. That's all.
Kyokka kati mpulira essanyu lwa palamenti y'okumi kyetukoledde etukkirizizza mbu tuddeyo mu bifo byaffe tukole, era mpita abanombe bannange abakyala abali bakolayo woteeri abali basitula emisenyi mbu enkya mujje tutandikirewo tukole.
In October 2019, artisanal miners from Buhweju district sought licenses to explore gold following their eviction from the fields by the Police Mineral Protection Unit. This was contained in their petition to the Committee on Natural Resources under their umbrella Uganda Association of Artisanal Small-Scale Miners. Henry Okurut, UBC.
L1663.
Now, Bunyale West Member of Parliament, James Waluswaka, has reintroduced the debate of the 24 billion shillings earmarked for construction of a road and bridge connecting Kayunga and Busoga. Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Kadaga says the money was embezzled by unscrupulous people. Waluswaka raised the matter on the floor of Parliament during the segment of Matters of National Importance.
Sun Transport Monica Azubantegi, has faced a hard time on Wednesday afternoon in explaining whereabouts of 24 billion Uganda shillings. The money in question was meant to construct a bridge connecting Kayunga and Busoga. In her explanation, Azuba says the Minister of Energy is working hand in hand with Uganda National Roads Authority in designing the bridge.
So the Minister of Energy has asked UNRA to do the design and they will come up with the funding.
Usually before a contract is signed, designs are already there.
That the Minister is not aware that the designs existed for that bridge.
Honourable Minister, since you are in charge of roads, you want to tell us that now Minister of Energy is going to construct roads?
The Pandora's box was opened by Bunyore West County Member of Parliament, James Walswaka, who demanded to know the progress of the project. Among the concerned respondents was the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga.
Why the bridge has not been constructed as per the plan and the contract? And where did the money go?
Been eaten. 24. The funds are under Ministry of Energy. So we will come in when the funds are given to the Ministry of Works.
The debate took a twist when Government Chief Whip Ruth Nankabirwa asked Parliament not to debate the matter, promising to take it up. This, a section of legislators disagreed.
Can I move ahead and present the matter in Cabinet?
I informed the President. I even gave him the names. I gave him the names of the eaters. I've been waiting for action. I've not seen it. Much.
If there is evidence that money was stolen, what is Cabinet going to do? Because right now, Speaker, we are talking about crime. Madam Speaker, I would think that we devise means of solving this problem without going back to Cabinet, because the Cabinet head was told.
From this engagement, members of Parliament asked the Speaker to institute a special committee to investigate the matter.
To separate this matter, we need commitment as to when this road and bridge is going to be fixed. That is urgent. And then we can pursue those who ate the money. I have no problem with the select committee.
Let Parliament do its work.
So I would want to agree with for the very first time with Honorable Gilbert Mulanya, that Parliament should be not only seen to be doing its work, but also should be actually doing it.
If people have eaten money, Honorable Speaker, what we should be doing now that the names are known, Honorable Speaker, if, for example, the matter would be referred to the Legal Affairs Committee, we become formal complainants before the DPP. These names are known, they are clear. These people should be arraigned.
Motion. Let me give my ruling tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Report compiled by Gloria Guitabinji.
And an estimated 18 million more health workforce will be needed by 2030 to achieve the ICPD plan of action aimed at eliminating maternal mortality, teenage pregnancy and gender-based violence. This was revealed at the ongoing International Conference on Population and Development in Nairobi, Kenya.
Out of the International Conference on Population and Development 25 years ago, gains have been made in strengthening maternal health care and expanding access to quality contraceptive information and services. But many have not benefited from these gains, with more than 800 women dying during pregnancy and childbirth every day, and 232 million women can't access modern forms of contraception. At the ongoing landmark Sexual and Reproductive Health Summit in Nairobi, delegates are seeking to address the specific needs of the health workforce, including optimizing the role of midwives as the backbone of sexual and reproductive health services. However, to achieve the ICPD program of action, by 2030 of zero maternal deaths, about 18 million more health workers, out of which 9 million are midwives, will be required according to World Health Organization.
We need to have 18 million more healthcare workers by 2030. And 9 million of this 18 million shortfall are midwives and nurses. So while improving the capacity, the competence, and the training of existing workers, the distribution of existing workers, we need to train more midwives.
Daphne Losio, a midwife from South Sudan, says her country is in dire need of health workers despite tremendous investment in the country's midwifery services by UNFPA, the Sexual Reproductive Health Agency, with support of the governments of Canada and Sweden, that has seen over 700 midwives trained to save lives.
Compared to the number of patients who are coming to the ward, the number of midwives is not enough. As in, at times in a duty, we work only 2 midwives and you have like 6 patients to take care of. They are all in labor and it really becomes a very big challenge.
Some called for the need to have midwives in top leadership positions to increase their visibility.
And we really need to make sure that women that are at the front lines, particularly as we've heard about midwives here, really at the front lines, that they are part of leadership roles and they're shaping the health decision-making agenda, but they're also shaping the solutions that are being forward.
In Uganda, Ministry of Health figures show that a midwife conducts between 350 and 500 deliveries per year, more than twice the 175 deliveries, as recommended by World Health Organization. Michael Bukenya is the chairperson of the Health Committee of Parliament in Uganda.
One of the issues would be to recruit more midwives in the primary health care centers. As you know, that government is constructing over 180 health centers and is yet to construct another 100 in the next financial year. So if we could recruit midwives in these health centers that are being constructed, we would be able to move towards the promise.
World leaders, representatives and non-government organizations, young people, business leaders and community groups continue unveiling their commitments to end preventable maternal deaths, meet all women's demands for family planning, and stop violence against women and girls by 2030. Bernard Higa, UBC TV, Nairobi, in Kenya.
The Minister of State for Internal Affairs, Maria Obiga Kania, has cautioned NGOs which do not appear on the validated register to stop operating. This follows the just concluded registration exercise, which started on the 8th of August till the 7th of September this year, requiring all NGOs to register and have valid permits. Giving a brief on the outcome of the exercise, Minister Kania reports that by close of the validation period, 2,118 registered NGOs had valid permits.
I've said so in my statement. Let me answer them.
The Ministry of Internal Affairs, together with the National NGO Board, rolled out verification and validation exercise targeting all 14,207 NGOs in the country. The 8th August to 7th September exercise was meant to operationalize and implement the Non-Governmental Organization Act 2016. The Minister of State for Internal Affairs, Mario Obigakania, says the exercise was intended to build a reliable and credible data bank of information on all NGOs operating in Uganda for evidence-based decision.
All that we are doing in this exercise to say you operate legitimately. If there were some NGOs which were investigated at that particular time, it means at that particular time we found out the activities were not in consonance with the regulatory framework.
Minister Abiga notes that those located in rural areas had a challenge of reliable internet services, which prevented their easy access to their website.
Many international NGOs quickly responded to the exercise and were the first to be validated. However, some NGOs, especially the indigenous ones, relaxed. Others feigned ignorance of the validation exercise. Some of them at that time did not have the required information.
Minister Biga says the NGO Bureau shall publish the new validated National NGO Register on the website. He cautions those that have not been verified to stop operation immediately.
So from now on, people should be able to access this information as and when they require.
The National NGO Register
was opened in 1989 following the establishment of the National NGO Board under the NGO Registration Act, Cap 113 of 1989. Mutoni Hilda, UBC.
State Minister for Works and Transport General Katumba Wamala says plans are underway for compensation of seating tenants of Bokassa, where government is set to construct a multi-billion shilling port. Katumba says upon the end of the compensation exercise, government will give the tenants a grace period of 90 days to vacate the area.
The Anti-Corruption Unit of State House, led by Lieutenant Colonel Edis Nakalema, has made representatives of Bokassa, Kampala residents to be affected by construction of a multi-billion shipping port project. The State Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, graced the meeting.
Still complaints, we shall also handle. Those who are claiming that there was, on their value, there was zero, they shall also be handled.
General Katumba Wamala said that a 7-man committee has been set up to mediate into these matters.
The various complaints and also the allegations and misallegations, we decided to have a 7-man committee which will sit on the ground in Bokassa and Compartment 7 to address those who are dissatisfied so that we can move smoothly. We don't want to leave people injured on the way.
However, Katumba refuted the allegations by residents that his ministry has intentions of forcefully evicting them without compensation.
They had forged forms which they were selling 10,000 to people that these were the genuine forms, when actually they were forged forms. So all that will be resolved. So that committee will be on the ground starting from tomorrow. We have given it 2 weeks to complete the work. Of those who have complaints, we also agreed that those who are ready to be paid, they should not be stopped to be paid, because some of them had actually booked land somewhere else, so they want to go. So those ones we shall handle.
The committee is set to begin and upon a completion of its findings within 2 weeks' time and handing in its report, the compensation process will then commence. The residents will be given a grace period of 90 days to vacate the land after compensation.
90 days. 90 days, you are allowed to come and dismantle everything. If you had a house and you want to take the doors, you want to take the bricks, you want to take the glasses, you can do that.
This follows an earlier meeting with over 2,000 residents in Bokassa. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News, Kampala.
Meanwhile, government has been reminded to compensate communities in Kisoro district's neighboring Rwanda that were affected by the 1990-94 war, which left many of their relatives dead and others displaced. Deputy RDC Kisoro, Moses Nwagaba, pledged to follow up on the matter.
Residents of Murora and Chachi sub-county in Kisoro district, neighboring Rwanda, have asked the government to compensate them over losses incurred during the 1990-1994 war. The most affected villages in Murora are Nyarutare, Maregamo, Mugahenerezo, Gikuri, Chahafi, Murabara, where over 10 have so far died, displacing several others, including destruction of property. Residents narrate how bombs killed and injured their relatives. One resident, whose daughter became blind as a result of the war, has asked government to support her with livelihood skills. Edward Kanyaruhanga is one of the survivors. Alex Nyachari explained that during the war, Rwandese could come and root their crops.
Nagezeyo ninjirayo musenumu njya gushakamo gashira turanywa ko n'abandi musenumu wo mukabihanga numva ngo harimo umuntu w'umusirikare urimo mu Rwanda.
Moses Nwagaba said that the DRC and Rwanda war affected Kisoro district, with some guns allegedly still hidden in the community.
The 8th Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, His Grace Stanley Ntagali, has challenged Ugandan youth to desist from embracing Western lifestyles and adopt proper moral living. Ntagali, who is set to retire in March 2020, describes Western culture as a colonial tool which the youth need to resist. It is during farewell prayers at the joint medical stores in Zambia.
A moment of praise and worship filled the environs of joint medical stores in Zambia as members of staff took part in early morning prayers. It was a farewell prayer dedicated to Uganda's soon-to-be retired Archbishop, His Grace Stanley Ntagali, for his spiritual service.
Do this whenever you drink it in memory of me.
But as he retires, he is worried about youth conduct, which he advises against embracing Western culture.
Our parents raised us because they got married, and for us who are elders, we have families, and we are happy to see our children and grandchildren. So for posterity, we want to encourage our young people to behave the way culture helps us to behave, the way the Word of God guides them to do, because the Word of God is that marriage is between a man and a woman, and that is God's order. So people who are taking things of the West, that's another kind of colonialism.
He wants youth to embrace godliness for proper growth, development and prosperity.
They are taking on anything that comes from the West, like using drugs, like smoking bangi. That intoxicates their minds and they become useless. Imagine someone with a degree or at school, you get engaged in drugs, you are becoming useless, you will not be a responsible citizen. So I appeal to the young people to make sure they take careful attention of themselves so that they know what they are engaged in.
Joint Medical Stores is a formation of the Church of Uganda, at whose helm Ntagali has been since 2012. He has commended the establishment for relieving clients of fake medicines in the market, a compliment received in affirmative.
Because people put labels on medicine which is fake medicine, but we want to thank God that Joint Medical Stores continues to take care of quality, and to appeal to all Ugandans to make sure they give medicine that is not fake, not expired, because that's dangerous to human life.
It can get spoiled in storage, and so that is why we have set up a number of these pharmaceutical warehouses, custom-made pharmaceutical warehouses, right temperature, which we monitor to make sure that the medicine remains in the right state, and then during transportation, which we have also ensured we have the right vehicles for transporting this medicine. So at all those levels, we ensure that we maintain the quality of the products.
Stanley Ntagali became the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda at the age of 57 in 2012, a position he has held to date. He is set to retire in March 2020, with outgoing Bishop of Mityana Diocese, the Right Reverend Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, confirmed to replace him. Henry Okurut, UBC.
In the name of the Father,
it is bigger, better, and exciting. It is chilling.
Taking us back to the schools we went through, we are not taught to be critical thinkers.
If you love what you do, you don't even think about it as a job.
I've been living my life
the usual way, but somebody turned it into...
Celebrating Uganda's talent and personalities is what we are all about.
I always knew I was going to be a musician.
I have always loved fashion.
We do it stylishly as we take you on a journey of self-expression.
Education is very vital in this element of fashion.
From the times if I'm introducing myself.
Now, you know, I'm like a Lukaku and...
My name is Drago Ibra. Join me every weekend with a fresh new episode of Chilling.
Hello, Uganda! We introduce to you the first and ever My Right to Play Christmas Kids Festival 2019. Let the kids feel the Christmas Eve on the 21st of December at the Legend Sports Ground in Lugogo. Entrance is 10,000 shillings only and parents free. Bring your child and have an opportunity to play, sing, dance and discover their talents. Mujje tuyingira amazaalibwa nga abato basanyusa bato bannaabwe. Muleete abaana bammwe banyumirwe, banywe, bazanye. Kino kigenda kubeera kijjabe. Proudly sponsored by Legends Sports Ground, UBC TV, Star TV, U24 TV, Star FM, Magic 100 FM, UBC Butebo, Marketing, UMC Victoria Hospital, and Ideas Workshop. Bwe oyagala omwana okuyimba kuba ku ssimu eno. This weekend on UBC.
My name is Nkaiv Hannington, winner of the NSSF Friends with Benefits Season 2.
Congratulations, Hannington!
I used my winnings to boost my agricultural production and give a chance to the people in my community to work.
So join us this year for the third season of the NSSF Friends with Benefits, as 16 Ugandans share inspirational stories on how they use their NSSF benefits to do life-changing things. So tune in every Sunday with your host, Gaetano, and I, and special new host, Uncle D. It's another incredible display. It's the NSSF Friends with Benefits.
And that's not all. You have the power to vote for your favorite stories to win up to 55 million shillings, just like Huntington. This show is brought to you by
NSSF, a better life.
We're coming to you live from Butekanga in Kamuli District.
In the sub-county where I come from, where my leadership is being practiced, yeah, money is really a big problem that is hindering women to join leadership.
And in case you didn't know, Fasi Fasi is a show intended to make way for women in the leadership sphere. How can we create a space where someone who does not have 20 million shillings but has the ideas can become a leader in our community? Did you know that the journey to becoming a politician is very costly, especially for women in rural areas like Kamuli, where the main source of income is subsistence farming? Going by numbers, money seems to be a critical factor in joining the political race. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's make way and make some noise.
We apologize for that. Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. In business news, stakeholders in the public-private sector, development partners and civil society have met in Kampala to discuss issues pertaining to the uptake and evidence-based decision-making in the implementation of an oversight executive public management Policy Forum. The Apex meeting was organized by the Office of the President under the Directorate of Social Monitoring and Research in partnership with Friedrich Ebert Stift Tank.
Apex is a platform spearheaded by the Office of the President, and it seeks to enable it take center stage in the management of public policy and promotion of good governance, especially in the implementation of public projects.
The Ministry of Finance is basically trying to see, to prioritize what should be funded by letting even others get out of the mouth of the fish through the gills, and then, of course, those ones which succeed and go through, they get into the digestion. And the digestion is basically what we are saying is what the Office of the Prime Minister coordinates. And that's what we want to see effectively coordinated, so that we can see implementation aligning to the lateral line.
The Apex platform will act as the public policy management executive oversight forum for learning, uptake, and evidence-based decision-making.
The debate on priorities is critical, and our finding is that it's an extremely difficult program because everyone in government is a king unto themselves. Every permanent secretary has his own priorities. And then below him, the commissioners have their own priorities. So now we have a government in which everyone has their priorities, pursuing their priorities. The directive comes from the president or wherever, it is put in a file and forgotten.
The Apex is simply a tool. You can turn this tool around, you can improve it, but you cannot deny the President's office their role of oversight. So whether we have money or not, we created the President's office, and its role is oversight.
Monitoring of public policies will ensure that government achieve its core objective, which is to serve the public and provide the best services to the citizens.
However good a policy is, however well-meaning a project is, or a program, for as long as it has a very weak M&E framework, from the word go, it has failed. Because M&E helps you define how you are moving, whether your objectives are being achieved. Where you are going wrong, you should be back on track.
Opportunity should be used to tell the president, who's chairing, I understand, the Apex, what he doesn't want to hear, or to rephrase that what these four, what you are afraid to tell the president. Then I think you're making good use of that opportunity.
According to the World Bank, Uganda's economy has the potential to grow at an average of 10% per annum. If the country operated at a higher level of efficiency, this involves carefully scrutinizing public investment selection, ensuring that investments are managed effectively and completed on schedule. Dennis Igor and Robin Yoso for UBC Business.
In more business highlights, at least 1 out of every 5 households in Nakulabye in Lubaga Division has been found to be having illegal power connection. In another development, DFCU Bank and Vivo Energy have partnered to extend financial services more conveniently to customers.
Vivo Energy Uganda and DFCU Bank are partnering to offer agency banking services at selected Shell stations. Agency banking services is the latest addition to Shell gas stations' retail sites. During the launch of the promotion at Shell Banda, the importance of innovation and partnership in improving the customer's experience was emphasized.
It's not only about fuels and lubricants. You will find shops, you will find quick service restaurants, you'll find pharmacies, you'll find ATMs, and today we are now with this partnership able to offer agency banking.
It's about making more possible. But it's also about recognizing the power of building strategic alliances when it comes to making more possible for customers and Ugandans. With this partnership and many more to come, there is no doubt that we are on track to extending financial services more conveniently to our customers.
Customers will be able to access some banking services at the Shell gas stations, like making cash deposits and withdrawals, paying utility bills, among others. In another development, Umeme Utility Company, in collaboration with Uganda Police, have conducted an operation in Nakulabye, Kasubi and Bakuri suburbs in Kampala. The operation was aimed at curbing power theft in the densely populated suburb.
Wendi nemba nnyonnyola nga bwe nnyonnyodde ne baŋŋamba nti tutwala mu mukazi kubanga gwe oli mulwadde senga gubadde mulambo bandigutaddewa.
Despite the increased effort aimed at sensitizing the public on the dangers of illegal power connection, at least 1 out of every 5 households in Nakulabye, Chiaye zone was found stealing power through illegal connection.
In this area of Chiaye, we are losing about 55% of the power that comes to this area. And so we had to come and do an operation so that we can reduce on the activities of power theft and illegal connections. When you calculate the entire Nakulabye district, the amount of money that is lost to power theft is about 8 billion per month.
The Electricity Act gives a maximum penalty of 2 million shillings in fines and a 3-year jail sentence to offenders convicted of power theft and illegal connection. Dennis Ikoa and David Matuvu for UBC Business.
And now in the world of sports, Uganda Weightlifting Federation is hosting a technical referee education course that aims at improving human resources. It's tutored by Serbian Professor Dr. Milan Mihajovic at the Uganda Olympic Committee offices in Kampala and attended by over 10 participants.
Uganda Olympic Committee's various affiliate federations have realized the relevance of human resource development. This has not been limited to the athletes, but also incorporated their coaching staff, which, when not harnessed, can't propel quality players. The latest to pursue that line is Uganda Weightlifting Federation, whose technical referee education course is tutored by Professor Dr. Milan Mihailovic.
Of course, there are some basic things if you are talking about how to develop one sport. First, human resources. Yes, I think you have a very, very good human resources. The young boys are full of energy, they love sport, and so there is no problem. After that, you must have coaches. Yes, your coaches are, we can say, good. You have a result on African championships, especially for the younger categories. So sometimes we need a time. These kids should grow up, and we can expect result in junior and even in senior.
Professor Mihailovic acknowledges limited funding towards weightlifting globally, but advises federations to pursue success of its technical staff to meet international standards.
It is important for every country to have technical officials because they represent your country like players, like athletes. They are also representative of the country, and the better they are, the image of the sport from your country is better everywhere. So I always think how it is important to develop not just athletes, coaches, but also the technical officials.
Uganda Weightlifting Federation President Salim Mosoke advises players to attend such workshops because they provide updates ahead of major meets like the Olympics. After this course, another one by the same facilitator will start in Busia at the Olympia Africa Center, with a talent search session also lined up. John Barnes, Centre reporting.
Meanwhile, Uganda's senior football team, the Cranes, have returned into play in their first 2021 AFCON qualifier game. Uganda is facing Burkina Faso in Ouagadougou tonight. The first half of the game has ended goalless. This is at the Stade du Feu. Earlier, the Cranes had their final training session at the same stadium.
Like we said, very little time to prepare for the game, but our opponents are in the same boat. Both of our teams really only got together last night today in their total numbers. So we go into the game. I think it will be a very close game. We've done the best preparation that's possible. And now it's really, over to the players. And if they play to their maximum, I think we've got a good opportunity tomorrow. So we're looking forward to the game and we're feeling confident.
With that, we quickly take a look at our top stories for the night. President Yoweri Museveni returns from Nairobi ICPD conference. Heavy rains damage Kazinga Channel Bridge. In Kisoro, residents demand for war compensation. And in the AFCON qualifier, the Cranes are facing Burkina Faso. And that does it. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the hour. Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have a lovely night.
I'm Daphne Kabasita Nsamba from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. We started the day with some areas having cloudy conditions, though some areas had sunny intervals. But then later in the afternoon, most parts of the country had cloudy conditions with some areas having showers. According to the report that we received today, Masaka reported the highest amount of rainfall of 57.3 millimeters. Jinja had 42.4 millimeters, and in Entebbe we had 27.6 millimeters. Checking on the satellite image of Africa, it shows that the rain belt is over our country. That's why most parts of the country are having showers, and also we are getting winds from Congo towards western part of Uganda. That's why most parts of western part of Uganda are having showers. We're expecting to start the day tomorrow with sunny intervals in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas like around Lake Victoria and Arua, Masindi, where we're expecting showers. Later in the afternoon, we're expecting showers in most parts of the country, though some areas like around Lake Victoria and northwestern part of the country, we are expecting sunny intervals. Temperatures expected to rise to 29 in the northern part of the country. In Kampala, we're expecting temperatures to rise to 26, and then in Kabale, we're expecting temperatures to rise to 24 degrees Celsius. Going beyond Uganda, Nairobi, we're expecting showers with temperatures rising to 26. Sunny conditions are expected in Dubai with temperatures rising to 31 degrees Celsius. In New York, it's still cold. We're expecting temperatures to rise to 7 degrees, though we're expecting sunny intervals. That's what we had in our store. For more information about weather, don't hesitate to click on our website. Have a blessed evening.
Hi friends, welcome. Maybe your business is not doing well.